Alright, y'all boys, be back with another video. So today we are going to be going over the newest update, or I guess you could say patch that dropped on, JP. This is going to have a bunch of new things that, of course, quality of life, stuff like that, that's going to be very important for a lot of new players and even, of course, the old players. I think this is going to be really nice just because this is going to make your life, I guess, playing the game a lot smoother. Now, is it necessary? I guess because some people just want to have more time in their day. I get it. But the game also isn't very taxing on needing you to, of course, log in every day and do so much shit. It's very, side game-esque, so you can kind of just play it as it is. But either way, I mean, I'm still going to be accepting of quality of life because quality of life just makes people happy, right? So first up, we are going to have the autoplay on domain investigation. So now you'll be able to, of course, autoplay all 5 stages of the domain investigation. So it makes it way more comfortable now. You don't have to keep clicking on each one and then, fighting and then, going on to the next wave and doing all that shit. It'll just do it all for you. No worries. But you will have to autoplay each attempt separately, meaning you will start this, you'll attempt it, and it'll just run through the 5 waves. But then once you're done, you'll use your one daily attempt, and then that's it. And then obviously you would have to do the same again and then re-put it on autoplay. Now obviously I know some people are probably going to be like, honestly they should have had it to let you do multiple runs at once. But honestly I don't mind it too much if it's like this, because what if I don't want to use all my runs? I mean, I guess in the sense you can just kind of select only one attempt, right, if you don't want to use all your runs, and that still gives you leeway to kind of do it. I mean, I guess there's always some room for improvement, so definitely maybe in the future they can kind of change the auto feature to allow you to do multiple attempts rather than just one attempt at a time. But I mean, this is still going to be, of course, a valuable quality of life. Now, there's also going to be 2 times drops in domain investigation until March 25th. You can see here on the top, so that way you are aware. I just wanted to put that out there so you guys know. All right, so here we are in the box tab now. Of course, you're going to notice that we are going to have another tab down here on the bottom. This is going to be the new, I guess you could say, feature, where it's going to be, basically material exchanging and crafting. So as you know, we do have the potential bosses that we do every week and all that stuff. And we get these potential resources that we can use to kind of like upgrade and enhance our characters in a way. Now you're able to, of course, exchange, your colors for other colors. So let's say I wanted to get more yellows, then I could just do this, exchange some reds, and then get some yellows now. Very nice. This is definitely going to be a very good improvement in case, like, let's say you might be able to beat one boss and you're struggling on another boss or whatever. These things can kind of help you do some of them, and you'll be able to get resources. Or maybe let's say you're just missing a little bit of green, but you got a bunch of reds. Well, boom, you could just, fire in the reds and get some of the greens. That is a very nice change. On top of that, we are going to have crafting too. So you're going to be able to kind of craft the, potentials, I guess you could call, I don't know what we're going to give the name for, but basically you can craft these, and now you have to kind of use a new material called refined dust, and you can use it to kind of upgrade the potential materials into higher ones as well. All right, so if you want to get the, like, let's say the rainbow one, then of course you would use the gold ones with the refined dust, and then you will be able to get the rainbow ones. So yeah, new feature, very nice, allowing you to kind of just make it a little bit more interchangeable on what you may need, and then of course crafting upwards, so that way you can kind of get a higher rarity if you need that as well. This gives you a little bit more flexibility in trying to, of course, min-max and get all the resources you need to, of course, enhance your characters. All right, so next up we are on the next feature that they added into the game. This one's definitely going to be nice, especially for content creators themselves. This is going to be the battle report. So when you finish a fight, on the top right hand corner you will see a icon, and on this icon you just click on it, and basically this will kind of give you a battle report of your entire team, going from, of course, how much damage you dealt with your team, right? I believe this is how much damage you took for your team, and then this is how much you healed. So very nice. And then obviously this is the tab for all of it, so you can see all the numbers in general. But yeah, this is basically going to, of course, give you a lot more reference on who's doing a lot of the work on your team, who's putting out the numbers, things like that. This is going to help, of course, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to help content creators kind of showcase a lot of the characters and their damage outputs, because then you can kind of use this as a reference to, like, for example, if you do one video on Blue Gojo and then you do another video on Blue Geto, then this can kind of give you a reference on their damage numbers, but in a side-by-side comparison. Obviously, granted, there's going to be crits and stuff in between that might make it make the the variances a little bit different and have some discrepancy, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a big deal, because we're not looking for the exact number. We're looking for a like a number that's close enough, right? Similar enough. But yeah, this is going to be a nice feature that they added into the game. I'm definitely going to enjoy using this. Hopefully they add it to global soon, because clearly, as the direction that global is going, it seems like they're probably going to be a lot better than JP in the long run in terms of having all this exclusive content, etc. And this is just a feature, and the quality of life will definitely get added to global. So global is going to be feasting when they have this feature as well. Not that JP's bad game, it's just, if they could get some of those exclusive things that global has, then it'd make their game better too. But yeah, this is gonna be very nice. Can't wait to showcase some teams and characters like this. Can kind of give you the stats of what they do. This can even help us determine how much, like, support characters who can heal or tank for your team are also contributing to your team, which is very nice. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing. All right, so this next bit of info is mainly going to be pertaining to people who actually spend on games. If you're any type of spender, goldfish, dolphin, whale, whatever it may be, we are going to have a daily kaiju pass for, I guess you could say, the pay-to-play players. And what it does is it's going to give you 430 paid kaiju when you first buy it. We'll just call it cubes, and then you'll get 100 kaiju daily for for 30 days. So realistically, you will get a total of 3,430 cubes, which is very nice. Now, the good thing about this, compared to, I guess you could say, other packs or other games in general, like, for example, if you ever played like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail and stuff like that, the days count down even when you don't log in. In this game, what it does is it only tallies the days that you actually log in to, of course, give you the cubes. So if you miss a day, whenever you log in next time, all the missing cubes will be distributed at the moment you log in. So let's say I buy this on like the 1st of a month, and then I don't log in until like the 15th. I'm going to get all those cubes still. All those cubes that like in between those 15 or 14 days that I didn't log in, I'm still going to get those cubes. So this is very good, because that means you don't really lose too much value. You just have to make sure that you at least log in, during the time frame, which is very nice. I really like this change. This is good, because then you can just collect it. At least you're less likely to kind of miss out on your cubes, is what I'm trying to say, right? It doesn't give you the incentive, or doesn't make you feel forced that you have to log in every day because you bought this pass. So I really like this. This is definitely a good way to handle, I guess, your monetization in a game. Now let's move on to the next bit of information. So of course, with the update, the patch, we did get a new event. This is going to be the map event, of course, right? So we have all this to do. This is going to give us some currency, all that good stuff, the typical thing that you would expect out of, a map event. And then, of course, there's going to be a score boss, all that good stuff. Once we get that score boss going, maybe I'll make a video on it. We'll see. Another thing to kind of talk about as well is, normally when a event comes, there's obviously a new character that comes as well. And the newest character we're going to go over right now. So here's the newest character. Obviously, that character is going to be Maki. As you can see, the artwork looks very nice, very clean. Definitely something I'd probably use on my lobby screen when I'm just opening up the game. Now, I'm not going to go over too much of the character, just because, I feel like I should save that for another video to kind of discuss how the character is. But we'll just kind of go over the basis of the character. So Maki is a blue SSR attacker character. She is going to be the next, I guess you could say, the next best blue DPS that we're going to have in the game after Sukuna, just based off of what we see with her kit. And of course, her being Maki also means that none of her skills cost any cursed energy. Everything's going to be 0, which gives you that flexibility with the character. Obviously, I'm not going to go too much over the character. She is a blue attacker. She seems very good from what I've seen so far. in her kit and what some of the people have been playing her with. I'm gonna be, you know, checking her out and talking a little bit more about her in another video. Very good blue attacker character. But that's about it. Let's move on to the last, I believe it is the last piece of information. So let's go over it. All right, so we're here on our characters, and last but not least, now you're probably wondering why the fuck are we on Jogo? Well, if you haven't heard, Jogo basically got some buffs, so he has burns on his skill 1 and his skill 2 now, which makes him more consistent in being more of a dot type of character. Now, I'm not going to go too much information over him. I think it's best to kind of talk about his changes in another video and kind of go more in depth. But I definitely do think they're trying to make strides in making a lot of the blue characters better, because as you know, for a very long time, blue had been the weakest, I guess you could say, typing of the 4, just because we didn't really have any good blue attackers aside for blue Gojo for quite some time. And then blue Geto was kind of iffy at times, and then obviously he got buffed and then they dropped Sukuna. But I think they're trying to make it a little bit more wide range for, you know, I guess the casuals and free-to-play players who may not have Sukuna and may not have, of course, you know, blue Geto, by making more options. And I think that is why they released the Maki, and then of course they released, you know, excuse me, not released, but, you know, made changes to blue Jogo, since he is a free-to-play character, and he is one of the 3 free-to-play characters that we have that is practically the, like, literally unusable. So I feel like they probably wanted to buff him up, because it's kind of a crime to make Jogo, of the 3 cursed spirits there, be the weakest. That's absurd. So they're definitely trying to make strides in making blue a lot better than it is previously, which I'm totally with. So yeah, I'm not gonna go over it like I mentioned. We're just gonna talk about that in another video. Anyways, that's gonna be all the information that we have on the 2.2 patch. We'll kind of go over any other videos and things another time. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.